Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no. You guys are watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. This is the #1 Descendants and Zombies podcast on the internet right now because of each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much. That is to be noted, because without each and every one of you, this YouTube channel would have never happened. It never would have became a reality for me. I was a radio show host. I was a YouTuber for many, many years. You guys brought me back from out of nowhere and made me your voice of Descendants and Zombies. Guys, thank you so much, seriously, from the bottom of my heart. Because you guys took something that started as a whisper, Jonathan Clarke on YouTube, and you turned it into a global phenomenon. Because of each and every one of you, more people know who I am, who this guy is, than ever before. Thank you guys so much for making me a celebrity overnight. And because of each and every one of you, I will forever present arguments such as Ruby Rose Turner playing the live-action Rapunzel for the live-action Tangled, because I really do believe that this is an opportunity that Ruby Rose Turner has deserved for a very long time, or at least for quite some time, ever since I could remember being a fan of Ruby Rose Turner, because she wanted to do this with such passion. And I think that because she wanted to do this with such passion, she should be given the opportunity and the chance to really run with it. Because I really do believe that Ruby Rose Turner has showed so much dedication to all of her previous roles. No matter what role you remember Ruby Rose Turner for being a part of, Ruby really brought the best out of everybody she worked with, and she inspired me, yours truly, to become a better person. And I'm sure she inspired all of you to become better people, because we're kinder to people now because of Ruby Rose Turner and the exemplification of kindness traveling further than ever before. It touched everybody's hearts how Ruby Rose Turner brought this character Bridget to life in Descendants, which is why I really believe that Ruby Rose Turner needs to be given a chance. If she wants to portray the live-action Rapunzel, I think she should be given that opportunity, because I really believe she would make the most of it. And my issue lies with how the conversation seems to be revolving around the same 3 or 4 people to play Rapunzel in the live-action Tangled, most notably Sabrina Carpenter. Sabrina Carpenter will never go away, and Sabrina Carpenter probably will be the girl who will play Rapunzel in the live-action Tangled. I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's really taking away opportunities from everybody else who has been in the conversation for quite some time now to play the live-action Rapunzel, because in all honesty, this is a live action that Disney cannot afford to mess up, because they've messed up so many live actions in the past. There are a few that you can kind of make an exception for, like Beauty and the Beast and Cinderella from many years ago, over 10 years ago. Beauty and the Beast and Cinderella were very classics for Disney being turned into live actions, but pretty much every other live action Disney has produced, they've kind of never followed through with. I know the Little Mermaid live action received its fair share of criticism many years ago too. Aladdin was probably one of the better ones, but I think this is one that they can't really afford to mess up. So I don't know how I feel about Sabrina Carpenter being the live action Rapunzel, because too much of the conversation seems to revolve around her. There are a number of people that I could suggest to be the live action Rapunzel, but I'm going to keep with Ruby Rose Turner right now because, yeah, it has everything to do with how I have the biggest crush in the world on Ruby Rose Turner. I have forever been supportive of Ruby Rose Turner, but I think there are so many character traits that Ruby could really bring to life for the Rapunzel character, most notably her curiosity. Because if there ever was a curious person in Hollywood right now, it is Ruby Rose Turner, and I think that is really adorable. How Ruby is just so appreciative of every single moment she's ever been a part of, bringing all these characters to life, like Cammy Rather on Coop and Cammy Ask the World, and Bridget for Descendants. I was a really big fan of that TV series too. I thought it was a TV series that was very short-lived, that really never got the opportunity to live out its fullest potential. And I think that shows like Gabby Dern and The Unsittable fall into that category as well. So I really believe that Disney believed that there were better things on the horizon for people like Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner, most notably Descendants, because if their revered characters Red and Bridget, it presented more of an opportunity to them. But I will forever present the argument that these TV series were definitely TV series that were very short-lived, that never really reached their maximum potential. And I think that people like Ruby Rose Turner have been deserving of more of an opportunity to shine and really showcase their talent, both as actresses and singers. I will forever advocate for them, because I really believe that the conversation about who's going to play the live-action Rapunzel has been somewhat of a revolving door. People have been coming in and out of the exit for forever, and I think that Sabrina Carpenter has been taking the majority of the attention away from everybody who's been a critic of this kind of thing. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels the same way that I do about Sabrina Carpenter being the live-action Rapunzel. And I know on the other hand there are people who are fully supportive of this because she is the closest resemblance to a live-action Rapunzel of all time. While I may agree with that, I just don't think Sabrina Carpenter has the personality to really bring this character to life the way that Ruby Rose Turner could because of Ruby's kindness. Sabrina Carpenter was never somebody that I would consider a role model. So many celebrities have openly admitted with an open heart and an open mind that they should never be considered role models, like Jeanette McCurdy many years ago on Twitter at the time before it was rebranded to X. I will never forget that tweet from Jeanette McCurdy many years ago. I will never forget how Ariana Grande felt about her on their working relationship with Sam and Cat. I will never forget how we just never saw chemistry on some of the most successful kids' TV shows of all time, and it was only because of the writers and producers that those shows really got over. But I really believe that Ruby Rose Turner had the opportunity to really bring the best out of everybody she worked with, not only herself, and that's why her shows became some of the most revered, and every opportunity she was given, she really made the most of. You can't honestly tell me that Sabrina Carpenter's personality is 5 stars compared to Ruby Rose Turner. I think that Ruby is just so sweet, so kind, because when you think of the Rapunzel character, who do you think of portraying her in the live action? Who do you think of as kind as Rapunzel? Because you remember Rapunzel being a kind character, being very curious about the outside world after having been locked up in a tower by her mother Gothel for forever. And I think that those character traits could be exemplified more powerfully than ever before because of Ruby Rose Turner, because you really have to think about the character traits of Rapunzel. Now, without all due respect, coming from my heart to Mandy Moore was the most effective voice to ever lend her personality to the character Rapunzel, because she was able to bring it to life in a way that nobody else could have ever before, for both the music and as an actress, because Mandy Moore's resume is very powerful. It speaks for itself. So with no disrespect coming from me towards Mandy Moore, because I think that if there ever was a girl to lend her voice to a character that done it so powerfully and so notably, it would have been Mandy Moore. I would love to have seen Mandy Moore be the live-action Rapunzel, but I guess they're reserving that for a new up-and-coming star on Disney Channel, which is why I think, too, the argument could be presented that Freya Skye could be given this opportunity, too, because you look at how powerful of a character Nova was in Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires. It may be too early to consider her for a role as powerful and as iconic as Rapunzel, but I mean, if you're looking for closely resembling personalities to play the Rapunzel character, then Ruby Rose Turner and Freya Skye have to be up for conversation. I just could never get into Sabrina Carpenter's music as much as what I could Ruby Rose Turner's or Kylie Cantrell's. Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner's music and their acting really touched my heart in so many unbelievable ways, while Sabrina Carpenter just became one of those characters that kind of fell into the category of a Taylor Swift, who became very overrated very quickly. I think it had a lot to do with the Eras Tour a couple of years ago when Taylor Swift was seen in these photos posted online of herself flexing her muscles on stage. It was really ridiculous seeing Taylor Swift in all these muscle flexing photos on stage. I think she should have been focusing more on the performance level of the Eras Tour and how many reviews it was getting. It certainly wasn't getting great reviews because of Taylor Swift on stage flexing her muscles all the time. And that's why I think Taylor Swift was just blown out of proportion. Now, ever before the Eras Tour, Taylor Swift always had the argument presented of being one of the most revered celebrities of all time. But I really do believe that when you talk about these celebrities, definitely Taylor Swift and Sabrina Carpenter fall into that category of being some of the most overrated of all time. And perhaps Ariana Grande could be up there in that conversation too. I'm just tired of hearing about the conversation being about Sabrina Carpenter having to play the live-action Rapunzel for the live-action Tangled, because there are so many people who are far more deserving of that role. And I can literally go on for forever on my show about this, and I'll post more videos about this as the live-action Tangled release date edges ever closer, because reportedly now production of the live-action Tangled has picked up again. So I hope that Ruby Rose Turner, this is not just a rumor, I hope this becomes more of a reality than ever before, because I think that Ruby Rose Turner has really been looking for this breakout role. She's really been hoping for it for a very long time, and I think she's been left heartbroken more times than she's ever given credit for. And because she's been left brokenhearted more times than she's ever been given credit for, I think more of a chance needs to be shown to Ruby Rose Turner. I think Disney really needs to capitalize on what they can do with a character like Ruby Rose Turner playing the live-action Rapunzel, because this would really inspire a lot of people. And I would come out fully supportive of Ruby Rose Turner. I would be front and center for the premiere of the live-action Tangled. I would book my tickets in advance. I would come out fully supportive of Ruby Rose Turner, and I would be the biggest Ruby Rose Turner fan in attendance. If that place was sold out, I would be the #1 Ruby Rose Turner fan in the building, and I wouldn't leave from beginning to end, because in all honesty, Ruby has had this ability to captivate my heart and touch my heart in so many unbelievable ways. I want to go on record for saying that I wouldn't be the person today in front of all of you if not for Ruby Rose Turner. She became my favorite Disney celebrity, my favorite Disney pop star, and I have my reasons for it because she just touched my heart. Out of any reason I could present for you in this argument, the reason why Ruby Rose Turner is my favorite of all time is because she touched my heart in so many unbelievable ways, and I will never forget her contributions to Disney. I will never forget her contributions to the Descendants franchise, although her time was very short-lived. I refuse to close the door on Ruby ever reprising a role as Bridget for the Descendants franchise because she still has so much more of a story to be told, and I hope that story gets told as time goes on. But the thing about time is time always runs out. So hopefully the time will run out. They'll have a requirement to go back in time again, have time travel re-enter the story, and hopefully we'll go back in time and see what's happening with Ruby Rose Turner's character Bridget, because I really do believe that her story is far from over and way beyond the dramatic conclusion like all these critics have been suggesting. I think more opportunities need to be thrown her way. I think more of a chance needs to be taken on Ruby Rose Turner, while it may be looked at as somewhat of a gamble to give Ruby Rose Turner this chance because she's still so young. I mean, what do you know at 20 years old? That argument can be presented too, but I think that people have been given opportunities to portray characters at much younger ages than what Ruby Rose Turner ever was, because you take into consideration Miley Cyrus. I mean, Miley was acting ever since the age of 10 years old when she was in that movie Big Fish, and she had one line in the movie. And ever since then, Miley Cyrus was extended movie role after movie role after movie role, and she went on to become one of the biggest celebrities in the world with 100 million followers on social media. So having said that, I really do believe that if you're having a conversation about who's going to be the live-action Rapunzel for the live-action Tangled, with how revered this classic became in 2010, because I remember the numbers Tangled was putting out in 2010, and it was truly unprecedented, garnering over $250 million plus in the box office, with one of the highest ratings for a CGI'd movie in Disney history. The ratings were unprecedented for Disney. They were through the roof for this movie in 2010. I believe it was in November of 2010. This was released right around Thanksgiving, around the same time Aladdin was released in 1992. So it brought back fond memories of me being a Disney fan for forever. And I really enjoyed this movie. This was one of these CGI'd classics that became an instant classic that I really enjoyed. I was very fond of the music, songs like I Can See the Light, Wind in My Hair, how Rapunzel's message touched the hearts of everybody. It was just amazing how this movie captivated me. So I'm really hoping that if Disney makes the most of this opportunity, they won't screw it up. It won't become a mess. It won't receive negative reviews, but it's bound to receive negative reviews. Disney always has a way of associating itself with negativity and negative vibes. But I really believe that if Ruby Rose Turner was given this chance, while she will receive criticism, and I expect that for Ruby, I really do believe that there is more of an opportunity and more of a chance for Ruby to shine brighter than ever before, because she is really a never-fading star. And I just want to make sure that that star never fades for Ruby Rose Turner, because a lot of people will choose to criticize her, I know, but I may be just saying this because I'm the biggest Ruby Rose Turner fan in the world, but I really do love her, and I know there are people out there that do love her too, that will probably subscribe to this YouTube channel because of this video, because I can't do it without you guys, but I really do love Ruby. Ever since the news first broke that Ruby was parting ways with the Descendants franchise, my heart was broken. My heart was shattered into a million pieces, because I thought Ruby was going to be with the Descendants franchise moving forward into the foreseeable future. Unfortunately, it didn't happen that way, and Ruby just wanted to embark on other ventures because the concept of time travel was taken out of the franchise, and I was searching for forever for the reason behind Ruby's departure. And the only explanation that could be offered to me was that time travel was no longer required, and of course she was a character having everything to do with the concept of time travel being in the Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland. And that was the only explanation that was offered to me. But you can't honestly tell me that you couldn't have found something for Ruby Rose Turner to do in present-day Wonderland, because you could have. You could have went back in time in the first 5 minutes of the movie, saved Ruby Rose Turner from obscurity. She could have came back to present-day Wonderland, had something to do with the Kingdom Cup games, had a bigger role than her previous endeavors in the first movie, of course, The Rise of Red. I really do believe that her story was far from over. It may have been told and completed in the eyes of a lot of critics, but I'm not a critic. I'm a guy who loves to give these franchises hope and loves to give you hope that they will last for forever. Because you see, I've had an issue with saying goodbye to some of my favorite stars over the years in franchises, like Hannah Montana, High School Musical. I was there for their rapid ascension to the top of Disney's charts, and I was so supportive of it that when the time came for their grand finales and their sending offs, I didn't want to say goodbye. I've always had an issue with saying goodbye to top franchises like Hannah Montana and High School Musical for many, many years, and I will forever and always be supportive of Disney continuing on and getting past 4 seasons and movies being trilogies like High School Musical and what have you from years prior. Because Disney could never seem to get past a TV series being 4 seasons or a trilogy, like they did with High School Musical and they did with Hannah Montana being just 4 seasons and over 100 episodes. It was almost as if, okay, over 100 episodes has been produced, let's invest our budget into something different. Let's invest our budget into something that is worth more value to us and means more. But I really don't think that the shows like Hannah Montana and Wizards, I will forever present the argument, were given much of a chance. They were never presented much of an argument as to why they could get past 5 seasons, why they could have reboots. Thankfully, Wizards of Waverly Place was one of the franchises of the past that were given a chance to be brought back and revamped, with Wizards Beyond Waverly Place now focusing on Justin Russo's story and his family. I really do believe that Disney needs to take more of a chance on these TV shows. I think Bunked was one of the first TV shows for forever that actually got past 7 seasons. Now, I know that had everything to do with the cast being revamped and Peyton's exit from the franchise, which was another moment in Disney's history that I was very heartbroken over in 2018, when she took to Twitter at the time and said, goodbye, Disney, thank you for all the memories. I don't know what it is about these Disney kids wanting to get away from Disney so fast and forget about them. I know Dove Cameron felt the same way. She couldn't get away from Disney quick enough, trying to leave her Disney past behind her. And the thing is, they are so brutally honest about how Disney treated them, which I really appreciate. They really give us an insight as to what happens behind the camera when the cameras are turned off, with the way Disney treats them. So I guess that had everything to do with their decisions to leave, which seemed to be very controversial in the minds of a lot of people who were fans of Disney. Because the thing is, as fans of Disney, we're watching this on TV and we're watching this on our iPads and we're thinking, this looks like such a miraculous life. This looks like the perfect life for me to live. I want to sign up for this. And then when the cameras are turned off, it's a whole different experience from what it actually is perceived to be. And I know that's how a lot of people feel. I felt like that too, because when I was a kid watching shows like Kim Possible and Toy Story and Aladdin and The Nightmare Before Christmas, I thought the best job in the world was getting paid to sit behind a microphone and bring these characters to life with your voice. And then I found out all the secrets as years went on about Disney and how they treated their stars and how it was very unfair and how it was poorly conducted. And oh my God, I thought to myself, this wasn't what it seemed to be ever since I was 5 years old being a fan of Disney. Now, I still am just as big of a fan of Disney as I was 15 years ago. But I just wish that these stars would be treated with more respect, have the pressure taken off of their shoulders, because this is going to be an experience that they're supposed to remember for the rest of their life, not regret. And I think a lot of people have parted ways with the Disney company with a lot of regret about how their careers went, how it never turned out the way they wanted it to, and they just couldn't wait to get away from it. So I hope that 20 years from now, when people like Ruby Rose Turner and Cody Control look back on their Descendants experience, they think to themselves about how it was really worth it, and they made the most of every opportunity they were given. So that's why I think that never enough opportunities can be presented to people like Ruby Rose Turner, and never more of a chance can be taken on Ruby Rose Turner. I would love to see her interacting with animals and spreading a message of kindness, seeing who she would work with as her co-star. Of course, you have to have a Eugene, a Flint Rider in this one. And there are so many iconic scenes from the Tangled franchise that a lot of people probably never remember, like how they went in the boat and they saw the fireflies for the first time lighting up the sky. And Eugene looks at Rapunzel and says, "Are you starting to understand?" And she says, "I'm starting to." And then the sky lights up with these fireflies. It's just so beautiful. I actually showed that scene on one of my videos in my archives when I was talking about a scene from the Kingdom Hearts video game they had included from many years ago. I'm a big fan of Tangled, and I'm a sucker for that franchise. And I really do love how people show the respect to Tangled's franchise, because they upload videos of them singing covers of their favorite songs, like I Can See the Light. That was my favorite duet from Eugene and Rapunzel. So there are so many iconic moments that Disney can't forget about when making this live action, and there will forever be arguments as to who is going to play the live action Rapunzel. I totally get that. But I think too many arguments revolve around the same 3 or 4 celebrities that have become very overrated, and I've become very irritated by, especially when you have beautiful girls like Ruby Rose Turner existing in this world. We know they're out there, and we know people are really banking on Ruby being the live action Rapunzel. So why not just give her a chance? Why not let her run with it and see what she can do? Give her some creative freedom. Because I know Disney stars have been wanting creative freedom for forever, ever since the days of Jessie and Bunked, which were some of the most revered Disney Channel shows of all time, because of how popular they were, the number of episodes they produced, the stars, the work ethic. I mean, Cameron Boyce really showed his fullest potential because of Jessie and Bunked, and he brought the best out of not only himself, but everybody he worked with, and he touched the hearts of so many unbelievable people. He will never be forgotten. And if you ask me, I think that he would have wanted people like Ruby Rose Turner to be in the position they're in right now, feeling happy with their lives and feeling very appreciative of the moment. Because I know Disney will put together these video packages of how appreciative they seem, how much fun it looks like, but it's all about how they really feel when the cameras are turned off. And I question that more times than I probably should on this show, because it seems like Disney is perceiving them for how they want them to be perceived. It's all about Disney's image and kayfabing certain things so nothing gets leaked off of set. When photos are taken, they have to have it approved by the social media department, which I'm going to fire every single member of when I become the president of Disney, because I think that is unnecessary pressure. It is totally uncalled for, and I really do believe that more of an opportunity needs to be shown to these stars, because I think that they're never going to shine to their fullest potential until that opportunity is given to them. And I think that with how we've seen stars come and go through the doors of Disney, it's been a revolving door for forever. I just want to keep people like Kylie Contrell and Ruby Rose Turner happy, because the reality that we're faced with is this can happen for them. They can have creative freedom. They can become executive producers like Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim for the Zombies franchise, a moment in time they wanted to get to, and they did. It took them forever. It took them years, really. But I think that if you give more creative freedom to people like Ruby Rose Turner, they will feel a sense of freedom. They will feel as if they're not captured by balls and chains, and they're not really being held down. And I really do believe that people like Ruby Rose Turner and Kylie Contrell crying is totally unnecessary. They're really wasting their tears. You're going to have to forgive me because I'm a real sweetheart, and I don't like seeing people like Ruby and Kylie crying all the time, not being able to make sense of their own life, because these are supposed to be opportunities, and they're supposed to be moments in time. Because the reality of this is, we are all a part of history. We're all a part of history with the live-action Tangled happening for the first time ever. We're all a part of history with Ruby Rose Turner being given more opportunities than ever before, like Most Popular and Orange is the New Black, because of the success of Descendants. And because of the success of Descendants, I think it deserves anything but criticism. It deserves all the praise in the world. And it deserves more of a chance than ever before. And I just wanted to be that guy to give it the chance it deserves, to show the respect it deserves. Because too many people criticize Descendants and Zombies. They show up on YouTube every night with one video every month, every couple of weeks, and it's full of criticism about these moments in Descendants, or these songs not really living up to the criteria of the person creating the video. Who cares what you think? It's all about the fans watching it and giving them what they want. And because I'm supposed to give you what you want, Descendants and Zombies is what you will get for forever on this YouTube channel. So it's up to you to hit the subscribe button. I'm not asking you to hit the subscribe button because of me. I'm asking you to hit the subscribe button because of you and what you see because of these videos, how you feel because of these videos. It's all about how these videos are supposed to make you feel. And I have received worldwide popularity from my reviews on people like Ruby and Kylie for forever. But what it comes down to is each and every one of you. I love you guys so much, man. I think you've deserved far better reviews on YouTube for a very long time, and I just wanted to be that guy, that sweetheart, to give it to you, because I really do believe that these franchises deserve more of a chance and more opportunities than ever before, even if that comes in the form of the live-action Rapunzel for the live-action Tangled. I've been a sucker for that for forever. Rapunzel will forever and always be my favorite Disney princess, and I just want someone as iconic as Rapunzel to play her and do just as fabulous a job, if not better, than what Mandy Moore ever could, because I've been a fan of Mandy Moore since 1999. I've been covering her on some of my very first episodes back in August of 1999 when my radio show podcast first premiered. Many of you were too young to remember that. Many of you weren't even alive. But I've been covering Mandy for forever, and I just want someone as iconic to play such an iconic role of Rapunzel because she's forever and always been so much to my heart. The Rapunzel character, that is, has forever and always been so much to my heart. And I just wanted this to be, really history that we can all be a part of and we can share in together. Just as I wanted this YouTube channel to be a part of history and something that we could share in together for forever and always. Guys, seriously, thank you so much for all the love and support you've shown this YouTube channel. I couldn't have done it without you guys. Keep on hitting the like and subscribe buttons for this YouTube channel. Keep on signing up, showing your love for Descendants of Zombies, because I have a lot of conversation to get to about Descendants of Zombies. October is going to be a big month. We've got the birthdays of Ruby Rose Turner and Freya Sky happening this month. I can't forget to mention that. And we've got the countdown to Halloween happening every day, getting closer to Halloween 2025. And I'm really excited about that. I'm really thankful all of you are here. Because of you, this YouTube channel happened and has become a global phenomenon. Something that started as a whisper became absolutely extraordinary. And I can't seem to thank you guys enough. So I will be back tomorrow morning as early as 9:05 a.m., between 9:05 a.m. and 8:35 a.m. with my first podcast. A total of 4 coming your way tomorrow. And it is the weekend. And I get really excited around the weekend because I get to do a lot of talking about Descendants of Zombies. I'm not going to be anywhere, only in front of this microphone, talking about Descendants of Zombies all weekend, with the first video coming your way tomorrow morning, and I hope you will join me for it. Until then, keep kindness in your heart, because kindness really does go a long way in this world. Bye, YouTube. Stay calm and zombie on, everybody, into the foreseeable future.